Culturama listeners, and welcome to this exciting episode of Culturama with Diva, where simplicity is the best thing. This program is brought to you by Innocentum Entertainment Ltd in Trinidad and Tobago and Caribbean Professionals LLC in Florida. So we're going to journey to Malaysia for a bit, and we have a very special guest today, and we're going to talk about social media strategies, podcasting monetization, and how to get your content up there. And I'm speaking none other than, forgive me for the mispronunciation, guys, Ashcroft Afera. Am I correct?
Yeah, thank you, Tia.
Ashcroft?
That's correct.
Okay, so welcome to the program. Thank you for being here despite the time difference. How are you?
Hey, first off, thank you so much, Tia, for having me. I am doing awesome today.
Okay, what time is it by Malaysia now?
Oh my gosh, it's 10:42 p.m.
Okay, quarter to 11 your time. Heading to Saturday morning.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're saying Saturday right now?
No, I'm saying for you guys, you're heading towards Saturday morning.
Oh yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about you and how did you end up in the podcast industry before we go on to our main topic of focus.
All right, cool. So how did I end up in the podcasting? So I started early in 2020. Okay. It's because I've been through in a lot of business courses, and a lot of them always say to me that you have to publish on a platform, right? It's either blogging, YouTube, or podcasting. So I chose podcast, and I just want to build an online business, and I think having a podcast will definitely help my business. So a lot of my mentors asked me to do this, so I tried. I just published my episode I launched my podcast in 2020, and then a lot of things happened along the way. So I just want to make money online, but I couldn't because I didn't know how to make money from podcasting at the time. So and then after 1 year of podcasting and having no money, getting no money from podcasting for a year, I decided to change the way I do podcasts. So that's how I got into business in a podcasting space.
Okay, so tell us about your podcast. What do you talk about? How can persons find your podcast?
Can you repeat that?
Tell us about your podcast. Where can persons find your podcast?
Oh, my podcast is called Content Marketing Hacks. It's on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify.
Okay. All right. So based on the topic of focus, we're going to talk about social media stuff, how to monetize your podcast, and content marketing hacks. So let's start off with content marketing hacks. What do you have to tell us about that?
All right. Content. So content, people do content, right? But they don't know how to monetize it. They think that they just have to publish consistently. They just have to give value, right? So this is where content marketing is a little bit different than being a content creator. Okay, creating content is everyone can do content, right? Everyone can create content, but not everyone can make money from the content. So this is why content marketing is so famous in the entrepreneurship world. So
it is.
And what I do is I look at all the entrepreneurs that are doing six figures with their content. So I look at it and I try to hack their content so that I can use it on my own. So that's why it's called content marketing hacks. Okay, because I'm hacking the way they structure their content, the way they publish it, right? The messaging. So everything about their content, I try to model it so that I can sell my own products. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I see that happening in the business field as well. People are looking at other people. So it's like copy and pasting, but making it into your own. So you learn from other people and you make it into your own. So how do you monetize podcasts?
All right, yeah, sure. So there are three types. There are actually two ways that I'm doing right now, and I'm trying to add another one, but I'm gonna talk about that later on. So the usual two methods that I use is I first monetize my own guests, okay, and another way is I monetize my own audience. So the way I monetize my guests is I bring my guests on the show, and the guest is actually my ideal client. So I talk with them
Yes.
about
Yeah.
their problems and their mistakes in their business, and talk about that. And then after the interview, I say something like, "Hey, I realized that you mentioned something like this and this, and would you want to help with that?" So if they say yes, and I book a call with them. So that's how the business side of things work when I monetize a guest, right? So
Yes.
yeah. So another way is to monetize the audience. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
monetizing the audience is easy, I think, because you just create the messaging, and usually they will just opt in into your offer. So the way do you want to know a little bit deeper about this, or should I
Go
just?
ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
all right, sure. So every time I launch my offer, I usually publish 7 episodes. The 7 episode to launch a new offer. So each episode has its own purpose, right? And
Right. Right.
at the 7 episode, there will be call to action. There will be a pitch. Okay, so the first episode is just talk about stories, and the second one is all about objection and this and that. So all these 7 episodes will leading up to the 7 episode, and that one will and after the 7 episode, I'll just get them on my list. Okay, so are you familiar with the term webinar secret, Tia?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
all right, sure. So yeah, I use that element on my podcast. I try to deconstruct every element in the webinar secret and try to use it on my podcast.
But for those who don't know, could you explain what is the webinar secret?
Yeah, sure. So webinar secret is actually uh, on how to pitch your stuff, if without sounding salesy and pushy. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a webinar secret is basically, it's a free webinar, and you're giving the customers or potential customers a taste or a sample of the monetized course that you have coming up. So when they spend time with you for an hour, then they're able to say, okay, let me join this course for the next couple of days. So that's
Yeah.
webinar secret. That's happening quite a bit, and it tends to work. It works.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works. It works really well.
Yeah, you're right. You get it
So
right.
tell us about social media strategies in promoting that sort of stuff.
Social media strategies. So okay. So do you want to know how to create content, or just overall social media strategies?
Let's start with creating content, then overall strategies.
Okay, sure. So I'll give you some strategies about how I did it without any audience. Is that cool?
Go right ahead.
All right. So in I think it's last year. I started. No, it's not last year. It's 2020. Okay. At the end of 2020, I started publishing on Facebook because I wanted to sell the course that I was an affiliate with. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that course, I tried to go to Facebook groups, and on Facebook group, I tried to find all of the potential clients and customers. So what I did was, at that time, I didn't have any audience on Facebook. So this is a complete from scratch. Okay. So I publish on Facebook on the targeted Facebook groups. I publish consistently every week, and just talking about monetization, podcast monetization, because at the time I was selling I was selling the course on podcast monetization. So I went to
Mhm.
Facebook groups that are about podcasts, and I talk about podcast monetization. Okay, just that every single
Mhm.
week. I talk about problems. I talk about stories, all of the stories that the students that are enrolled in that course, all the success stories, right? So I talk about it, and I talk about it for the first 3 months, and that's when I got message. The first month I didn't get any DMs from the people, but on the third month I started getting two message, and then three message, right? So it started to go
Wow.
up. Yeah. So that's when I direct them to my own Facebook group. So I I I started to build my own audience just from those groups. Okay, so and it's not just about content. It's also about um, engaging on their posts.
Delivery pitch.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and also engaging on a targeted post. So when I was selling the monetization course, monetization podcast monetization course, I engage on a post that only talks about monetization. So if they talk about software, if they talk about launching, I would not engage on that post. So I really want to let them know that I am the monetization guy. Okay, so that's when they know me. I want them to know me. What am I, right? So yeah,
Your
so
point of focus.
yeah, and yeah, I create content based on their objections and the success stories from my course. So that's how I create content. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, all right.
So tell us about the social media strategies overall.
Okay, so since I use Facebook, and then I'm just going to talk about how I use Facebook for my social media strategies. Okay,
Sure.
all right. So social media strategies. Firstly, I use my profile as my lead gen machine. So I set up my profile in a way that it looks like something that people want to get to know me. Okay, so
Right.
in Facebook we have what is it called, the billboard, something, the cover photo. Yeah, the cover photo. That
Yeah, the
cover
banner and
photo.
cover photo. Yeah.
Yeah, the cover photo is the most important thing because it really represent what people do. So I use my cover photo as my billboard to showcase my skill and what they can get from me. And then yeah, the cover photo should be something about the brand, right? Something about me. So
Right.
and the cover photo must have a call to action. What 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 I want from the people that view my profile to do after they view my profile, what I want them to do, right? So usually my call to
Right.
action is check out my go to my Facebook group. Okay, just join my Facebook group if you want to learn more about podcast monetization. So that was my CTA back then. So yeah, and then on Facebook you also have a caption, a small caption under the profile, right? So this is why I write something like I help people with this, without that, right? So it's kind of like a small pitch, a one sentence pitch, where where you really tell them what you do. Okay, the cover photo is a brand, and the caption is literally a pitch. Okay, so this is what I'm saying here is I'm saying to setting up the profile first. So there's a lot of things to set up on a profile, right? And so the first strategy is to collect leads. So how I collect lead is to I add people that are really my ideal client on my friends list. I will not add someone that are not my ideal client on my friends list, maybe now I kind of loosen up a little bit, so I add someone that is not really my ideal client now, but yeah, but back then I really target that one specific client. Okay, so that's one thing, setting up a profile in a way that gets you leads, in a way that turning viewers into leads. Okay, so and the second part is okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So the second part is have a way to capture the leads. Okay. So it can be an email list. It can be Facebook group members, right? So so there are two parts that people need in order to make the social media marketing works. The first, a profile, and the second thing is a place where to collect leads. It's either Facebook group or email list. So what I did was collecting leads to join my Facebook group. So the Facebook group, I had to set it up so in a way that it represent my brands. So that's the overall strategy of social media marketing strategies.
Okay, so do you use Facebook Business or you just have a regular Facebook profile?
Come again?
Do you use Facebook Business as in those business pages or you just have a regular profile? People just send you a friend request.
Tia, I don't think I can hear you clearly.
You hear me clearly now?
Yeah.
So I'm asking, do you use the Facebook page where persons just send you a friend request, or you use the Facebook business page?
Yeah, I use Facebook profile because it's kind of like friendly. So for me, business page
and easier.
Yeah, and easier too. So yeah, because Facebook profile you have to set up two things, right? So for me, I recommend using Facebook profile, but if someone wants to use Facebook page too, that's okay, as long as they know how to manage two profiles at the same time. So yeah.
Okay. So where can persons find your services?
They can find me through Facebook. It's called Ashraf Farouk.
Okay. Any website?
Okay, so I wanna give your audience, you and your audience, a free podcast microphone. So right now I'm doing a giveaway. So I'm gonna give you and your audience a free podcast microphone. So,
oh my God!
So yeah, you can. I only have like, I don't know, 800 of this, and I've been promoting it in many places before. So they have to get it now before it's too late, right? So they can get it at bit.ly/free podcast mic. That's bit.ly/free podcast mic.
Wow, and we'll post the link far and wide. There you go, folks. Free podcast microphone just for you, courtesy of Ashcroft Farouk and Culture Armor with Diva and the Caribbean Professionals LLC. There you go. So you want to say hi to anybody out there in the world?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Is it like that?
Okay, so can you say something in your language, like have a nice day, have a great weekend?
Oh, okay. Selamat jalan semua.
Okay, I need to learn that. So guys, there you have it. Podcasting tactics with Ashcroft Farouk. And remember, life is a journey. Live good, love God. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel good. See you soon.
Recording stopped.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tia.
Recording was stopped.
Wow. Wow, that was an awesome interview.
Thanks.
Wow.
Thank you. That was,
all right, I'll let you know when would this be published before I post the link, or I can never mind. I'll just post the link soon. Send me the link to the podcast mic. so I can post it out now
All right, sure.
instead.
I will send you a DM about this. Okay.
Come again?
I will send you a DM about the links and everything.
Yes. Yes.
You-
Also send me a couple pictures of you as well.
Okay, sure.
Picture of you so I can post on my social media.
Okay, sure.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Tia. Thank you,
Okay.
Jonathan.
Yes.
Well,
Sure.
it's actually Matthew.
Sure, but that's good.
Oh, sorry.
Not a problem. Not a problem. It's just my job.
Oh,
You know?
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So let me go ahead and let this convert.
Alt F4, Zoom muted. Alt F4.
Thank you, Jonathan.